Hey, whores. It's me, Billy Procida. Not a different Billy. Um, Obviously, it's not the normal intro you guys usually are used to hearing. Normally, you get that great intro music or shitty intro music, whatever you think. Kevin MacLeod stuff with Evan Williams saying, "Welcome, Man Whore Podcast." You'll hear that in a bit, I promise. We'll start the show proper, but I gotta get this off my chest just because not a great day. Um, Really hurting. So, as some of you might know, and some of you might not, I can't remember what I've alluded to and not over the last whatever 8 months or so. Um, I was seeing somebody, and it got kind of serious. We've been seeing each other since September. I didn't talk a lot about it on the show because I knew she listened to the show, and because I was still figuring out what it was. So I just got back from a brunch where her and I met. I had an inkling that some bad news might be coming, but at this brunch, she eventually things are going fine, and eventually she tells me that she wants to pull back emotionally from whatever this was, whatever, and I'm really hurting, guys, because I love her. I do. I really do love her. And I told her that after she told me that. She said at first I thought this was a scheduling thing. It's like, hey, we might see each other less because in the last couple of months, as I went through this, she did like some training thing for a thing that involved a lot of introspection. And she was like, yeah, no, I've been thinking about a lot of stuff. I was like, okay, cool. I'm excited to hear about what you're learning and growing and all that shit from. And one of the things was that she needs to focus on reprioritize some things. I was like, okay, I think maybe that means she's just going to have a tighter schedule. I was like, that's fine. We'll make it work. And she said that she wants to emotionally pull back so she can refocus those romantic energies. And I told her I love her afterwards. And I'd been waiting. I've been waiting for the last I've been waiting months to tell her that, to tell her how I feel. And I didn't do it because I knew she was doing this, intensive 10-week training thing. And it would be selfish of me to kind of just throw that in the mix while she's already going through a lot of shit. And I was like, okay, I can be an adult and I can keep that bottled up a little bit longer. I had told her once drunkenly New Year's Eve, we got into a fight. And I did what I do whenever I'm mad at somebody. I say I love you aggressively and then I leave. This time, when I told her, it wasn't used as a weapon. It was said not in happiness as I had hoped, but in sorrow. Sorrow for something that is lost. No, guys. She told me that her ideal situation is, we keep having sex every once in a while because she says, she reiterates like the sex is amazing and it's great. And you're awesome. And just, I need to refocus my energies. So like ideally she'd want to fuck one time a month or maybe a few times a month, and then maybe like we also can like hang out and get drinks or grab a movie or a lunch here and there. Only if I needed it, by the way. It wasn't like she said, and we can do that stuff too. It was more like, well, if you need to like hang out to be able to like keep the sex fulfilling for you, like that's great too. And that hurt. I think what hurts the most is I do think she loves me. I There was this one moment that made me really realize it's something different than, because it started off as just sex. And I should probably say this. So she has a boyfriend. Don't worry, this is totally a consensual thing. She she has a boyfriend. They have an open relationship. They are not polyamorous, so she's not supposed to pursue other romantic interactions outside of her relationship. But she goes and fucks around, and that's what this started as. And then it very quickly, just kind of intensified and turned to something more. I guess in some ways you could say she was cheating on her boyfriend because she was romantically involved with me. This was definitely more than just a sexy friendship to both of us, and she acknowledged that multiple times. But and there was this moment that made me rethink some things. It's back in like the fall or the winter, and we just had sex, and she rolls off of me, and we're both catching our breath. She just looks at me and says, "Oh, man, I really wish I was poly, because I would totally date you." And that made me think, like, I am dateable. Like, I can. There is fucking hope out there for me. But yet again, ultimately, maybe the best thing I'm good at is sex. And I hope that's not the case. I'm very capable of love, and I'm deserving of love. I know that, but just it's not a great day for Billy, because that's the thing. It's not over. Like, she's down to keep fucking me or hanging out. Just very low key friendship that involves some sex. Because to her credit, the sex is really amazing. But I think it's really amazing partially because I'm in love with this woman. I think, all this sluttiness and whoring around, guys. Sex is awesome. It's great. It's fantastical. You can do it no strings and it'd be amazing, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's just something otherworldly, something paranormal about, I don't know how to describe it, love. Yeah, so I'm sorry to burden y'all with that. And I just want to I guess, keep y'all updated every once in a while about what goes on with me. There are ladies in my life, sure, and I've got some fun sex partners, and sometimes I get, dates that look hopeful. There was that woman from Hacienda like a month or two ago, and went on a couple good dates and seemed great, and then but it fizzles out, nothing happens, and that's all well and good. But this is the longest relationship I've had in a while. We've been seeing each other since early September, so that's what, 8? That's like 9 months. Been seeing each other almost 9 months, and I haven't really dated anyone consistently in a long time. So, yeah. But that's what's up with me, and now we're gonna go back to our normal programming, and it's gonna be happy times, and it's gonna be me with an intro that I recorded long after this, when I've like pepped up a little bit maybe, and I'm feeling good, and then it's gonna be followed by what I'm sure is an amazing episode with someone. So thank you guys for listening. Now let's get on to the sexy fuck things.
Welcome to the Man Whore Podcast.
Hey, nipple tweakers, salad tossers, and tea baggers. This is Billy Procida, and you're listening to the Man Whore Podcast. Hey, hi, and hello to everybody. Welcome back, all my lovely listeners, and hi and hello to all my new ones. I am your host, stand-up comedian Billy Procida, and this is the podcast where every week I chat with women I've hooked up with about sex, dating, sexuality, and love. However, this week's guest is not one of my former flames or past lovers. This week I've got a very special guest, super funny guy, comedian Mike Cannon, who I'll tell you a little bit more about later on. First, I got show dates for you guys. Show dates. Yes, if you're in New York City and you're free tonight, May 27th, on Wednesday, I am over at the Treehouse Theater on 29th Street at 9:30 p.m. And then next week, I'm going to be on June 2nd, Tuesday, at the Bungalow Lounge in Queens, and followed by the Wednesday at Two Boots Pizzeria in Brooklyn. Doing comedy, not eating pizza. Possibly both. Probably both. Probably going to eat pizza, but also be doing a comedy show there. So that'll be pretty cool. And the next week, I'll be over in Louisville, Kentucky, at the Laughing Derby as part of Midwest Fest on Wednesday and Thursday, June 10th and 11th. So if you live out there in Kentucky or Southern Indiana, come on out. I'm in Sloatsburg, New York. That's a little bit more upstate. I'm going to be at the Characters Bar and Restaurant on Friday, June 19th. So those are my show dates for y'all. And you can see a list of all those over at manhorrorpod.com/comedy. So please come out, support me if you can, and see me do some of that live stand-up you guys hear me alleged to do. Speaking of support, it is time for another edition of the somewhat new silly segment, the impersonal thank you roll call for all the people who are supporting the Man Whore Podcast over on Patreon. What's Patreon? It's just a way that you can financially support the show and help me improve the podcast by making any sort of monthly pledge that you can do. You can pledge for as low as 25 cents a month, which is just a few nickels per episode. And you can cancel at any time, and there's some really cool rewards on there. One of those being a very short shout out on the show. So right now, I just want to say thank you very much to Danny M, Ian K, Nelly H, Sophia L, Krista Ann, Jazz O, Jeff C, Jennifer C, Justin, who really wants you to know that he's from Portland, Kyle B, SB, Mary G, Madeline B, Dave K, and Grandmaster Lance. Thank you all so very much for supporting the podcast and supporting me. Really, really appreciate it. It's really helping me improve the show. And speaking of the Patreon people, I just wanted to let you know that my sponsors, the Auto Blow 2, are helping me give one of this amazing product to one of my lucky listeners. So anyone who is an active patron as of June 4th will be entered into a little drawing to win a free Auto Blow 2. And Auto Blow 2 is, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a goddamn... People, okay, I'm going to be frank with you. It's a blowjob machine. It really is. It's like a hands-free fleshlight, essentially. It's a fleshlight for the guy who's like, I was going to get one of those pocket pussies, but my wrist gets tired really easily. That's what it is. You plug this baby in, and it gives you a blowjob when a woman or person or man is not available. So yes, please go over to patreon.com/manwhorepodcast or go to manwhorepod.com and click the Patreon banner. Support the Man Whore Podcast today and maybe win an Auto Blow 2 tomorrow. And I gotta tell you, these puppies ain't cheap, okay? Shit's costs $180. So really, you could be getting this for a bargain cheap price. And also, and again, if you want to order your own Auto Blow 2, you can go to autoblow2.com. What's been going on? Big news this past week, right? Big news. Congratulations to Ireland for getting your act together. Yes, Ireland voted through a nationwide referendum to legalize same-sex marriages. You did it. Congrats. It's awesome. Yeah, they put it to a vote. They put it on the ballot, and the majority of the country was like, yeah, you know what? Let's give the homos a tax break. Why not? So I think that's great. And I know I have quite a few listeners in Ireland. So congratulations to all you who were out there, out and about, partying and celebrating all weekend. Although I am shocked that the Catholics got their act together before our country did. I mean, it's the Catholics. It's Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, the people who are anti-contraception. Even they are saying the marriage thing. It's like, yeah, let the queers butt fuck each other as long as they're not using condoms when they do it, because those are the work of the devil. Insane. Here's how insane it is. if you want to compare their country with our country, because here in the United States, where we do not have marriage equality nationwide, you know what? Okay, conservatives, you're right. Gay marriage leads to incest marriage, kind of, sort of, not really, but you were almost correct. Yes, okay. So here's what happened. There was this couple, these two dudes, back in like '94. They lived in New York, and they got a domestic partnership to like legally protect, to some extent, their relationship. So whatever. I don't know what the fuck you get for being a domestic partner, but they had that in New York, and then they moved to Pennsylvania. Why they moved from New York to Pennsylvania, I don't know. It seems like a poor decision, but that's their life choice. And so they moved to Pennsylvania, where they don't recognize domestic partnerships between same-sex couples. So they were like, well, okay, fuck, what do we do to protect ourselves? So they were like, oh, one of the dudes legally adopted his boyfriend or his partner. That's what they had to do. So literally, their father and son, but then they just went back to being a couple. Now, of course, Pennsylvania does recognize same-sex marriage. They have for a little over a year now. And so they were like, cool, let's get married. Wait, oh yeah, Dad. That's not allowed. So they had to dissolve the adoption. They filed a petition to vacate adoption, and then they got their marriage license granted 15 minutes afterwards. Get your shit together, America, because the Catholics are starting to oddly be progressive. I don't know. This thing makes my head hurt. I've got an important announcement for all my SoundCloud listeners. Okay, SoundCloud. I regret to inform. I don't regret. This was a decision I make happily. There's regretful outcomes. I will no longer, after today's episode, be posting podcast episodes to SoundCloud. Allow yourselves to take a moment of silence. See, SoundCloud, my year-long pro subscription with them was about to expire. I was exploring renewing it. They've recently launched their podcasting platform, so I took a look. And really, it's an inferior product for a price that is a little too much for what they offer. SoundCloud's great. I use SoundCloud to listen to music a lot and to dance alone in my bedroom sometimes, but it's not good for podcast creators, in my opinion, from my experience. Because here's what I do. I host on Libsyn, is where I host my media files, and Libsyn will blast out the podcast to all these different platforms. So it sends it to iTunes, it sends it to Stitcher, sends it to all the podcast apps, sends it to my website, manwhorepod.com. And then I have to post the SoundCloud separately. So Libsyn is just far superior, and I've had a much better experience with them, customer service-wise. So I am not renewing my SoundCloud membership. So please, I want you to keep listening to the show. Please. So I recommend some of the following podcast apps, and then I want you to download one of them, subscribe to my show. You can download either the Apple Podcast app or Pocket Casts or Overcast or Stitcher. I've heard really good things about all of those. And in the rare case that you really hate all the podcast app options, you can't stand them, but you still want to listen to me, email me. We'll figure it out. Okay. Email me at manwhorepod@gmail.com. I will figure out a way to get me into your ears. So that's not great news. But what is great news is this week's guest, Mike Cannon. I've known Mike Cannon for years. He's a super, super fucking funny comedian. You've probably seen him on Comedy Central's The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore, MTV's Failosophy or Money from Strangers, and he's also been a contributing writer on MTV2's Guy Code. He also hosts his own weekly podcast, Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, a conspiracy theory podcast where two guys he knows who are super truther dudes sit there and baffle him. Super fun stuff. And he's just a great guy. Really nice dude. Really fucking funny. And has been able to find love in his life. But we had a great conversation. Covered a wide variety of topics. Christ, I can't even condense it all. I could never list it. That's how much shit we talked about, dudes. and people and stuff. That's how much different shit we talked about. It was crazy. It was awesome. And I think you're all going to love it. So I'm going to shut my fat face and let y'all sit back, relax, and listen to Mike. And me, I'm I'm there too, I guess.
I'll hit her.
There's the entry point.
There we are.
No context, just I'm going to hit her.
Yeah, I want everybody to know.
I gave you a really good intro. That's what I probably did. So
Oh, so you do some post work.
I do a little bit of post.
That's pretty cool, man.
I can cut.
So you're playing coy with this, little technology dumb shit. This is how you get laid. You're like, I don't even know about levels, and girls are like, I don't want to hear my voice, and you're like, perfect, because I don't know. And then you fuck them.
Yeah, that's exactly how I've managed to man whore it up.
I mean, that's a good scheme.
It's great. It's been working for years.
You've just been recording. You have thousands of hours of unreleased footage. You're like Tupac. After you die, there's going to be so many whores in you on a recording of an episode.
They're like, how do you get so many guests? It's like, no, I've been doing that experiment the whole time.
Yeah, this has just been a thing I've been doing. People haven't been aware, but
I recorded these episodes years ago, really.
Yeah. It would be interesting podcast that you should do as almost a supplement. You should have a microphone dangling from your ceiling over your bed, and post sex record a podcast called Pillow Talk.
Oh man.
With Billy Pro.
Pillow Talk with Billy Pro.
Do you go by your name on this, or are you like Juan Savage or something? I don't know, maybe.
Dan Savage's Hispanic cousin.
Yeah.
No, I'm Billy Procida. They fully know.
All right,
who I
that's
am.
good.
Yeah, they know. Some of them know a little too much of who I am, but yeah.
Oh, I bet this is a very revealing podcast. That's what I hear.
Yeah.
What is this? Run down. What do you do? Am I like a person you wish you could fuck, and that's why we're talking?
I want to fuck your comedy. That's
okay.
That's what...
if I could manifest it physically into a wet, sloppy thing, I'll do it.
Totally. If you can make a Fleshlight version of your comedy,
there we go.
And then,
and I don't have any of those left either.
You're done.
So,
You're all good out?
Thank God. I was giving them away at Illuminati party shows, and thank God. They gave me like these weird soft dicks, like soft,
like packs.
I don't know. No, it was like
they're flaccid cocks.
Flaccid cocks.
Right.
Is there a market for soft dicks? Like
soft packs.
But
I might
is
be
it for people that wish they had a dick to wear, or is it for actual insertion?
No, it's for like trans men who don't have like a cock, and they want like the feeling of it, or they want to be able to display a bulge.
For sure. I mean, they were big dicks. I mean, they came in 3 sizes, but even the small dick,
medium, and large.
Even the small dick was unreasonable. It was like still like flaccid wise, it was impressive. It was bullshit. I don't know.
Well, you think like trans men are a little too greedy about the cocks that they want?
No, I mean if I had the choice of what my penis was, for sure I would also be packing. I think fake it till you make it.
It's like who chooses 5 inches?
Yeah, who the fuck is gonna choose? And like huge balls. Imagine
huge balls. I don't know. At some point they get in the way.
That would be an interesting choice if you were a trans person and you just wanted like an average weird dick. Like you wanted a 5-inch dick with giant nuts that dwarf your dick, and you're just like, hey, I just want the normal, typical male experience. I don't want to be here fucking packing some ridiculous dick. I don't want an advantage.
Yeah, I don't want a handout.
What a democratic trans person. Is that the correct thing to say?
Trans man is like one of several ways you could say it.
Trans man.
I'm a big fan of words need more than just letters to like have a meaning. They need intent and context and shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, so like I don't have a problem with the word tranny. There are trannies who do.
Sure.
But I also have trans friends who don't have a problem. Like I know this dude person named Cougar, and she's like, I just covered my
Cougar is so interesting because that could have gone either way. That could have been a woman who
that's
turned
the name.
into
That's the name.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but that could have been a woman that turned into the most vicious man. Like, I'm going to be a biker guy named fucking Cougar, or it could be a guy that's like, I want to be a sultry cat. I'm going to be fucking Cougar. Which one was it?
It was the first one. Yeah.
Girl to guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with him. But I did use all 3 pronouns to cover my bases because I'm not sure why. Because Cougar doesn't really give a shit.
Sure.
Like, and to, like refers to himself as a trainee. He's like, yeah, I'm a trainee. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
Right. Well, there are certain people that choose to own pain, and there's certain people that choose to let them affect it. Neither one is wrong. It's just, I get it.
Yeah.
That's it. Probably sucked being called, that in a vicious way.
Totally.
So
So for me, I usually default to the most proper thing, but at the same time, if I'm more familiar with someone,
well, it's unfortunate that tranny is a funny word. Like
It's
it's
just
a
it's
it's a
just a
good
funny
comedy
sounding
word.
word,
Yeah. It's got a nice little roll to it. It's got a rhythm.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I've been spoken to. I've had some emails about my use of the word.
I thought you were just cornered by a couple of husky voiced women, just like, hey,
I want to tell you what the correct usage of the word is, boy.
they just slap the shit out of you, pantyhose fucking ripped open with a ton of hair coming out. That's a very specific person. I'm not talking about all of you in general. I'm just making the visual for the joke.
Yeah. In case I didn't say this in the intro, so I am with Mike Cannon. He is a comedian. And that's our context here. You're like the first. You're not the first comedian I realized after I'd asked you to come on, because I did have two chick comics earlier, like last year during the She Devil Festival, and we talked about like gender and comedy and stuff like
Which
that.
ones?
Had Jessica Michelle Singleton,
Okay.
and Natasha Pearl Hansen.
Very cool.
Which I should have thought about booking both of them on the same one, because that's a lot to put in one title.
That is a lot
They
of
both
names.
have really long names,
That is very funny.
but we did have.
They're the NPH of comedy.
Yeah, it was just
Female.
it was a whole lot. But no, that was great, and I hadn't slept with either of them, and
Okay.
and Jessica was slept at my place for like 5 days, and we did not.
Wow. So
Fondle each
you
other.
had a dating past. You brought,
No, I know. No. She was crashing for the
she
She
was
Devil
crashing.
Festival,
Oh,
and
wow.
and we did not do anything. I was
Like against your wishes?
No,
Like,
I didn't.
Did you
I
attempt?
didn't. I didn't even make an attempt. I was really proud of myself for just like, you know what?
wow.
She's just trying to have a safe space to sleep for 5 nights.
Well, yeah.
Don't
I mean,
make her uncomfortable.
don't let her wake up with you heavy breathing.
Do
See,
you, do you want breakfast?
I think the best way to go about that is just be a cool person for the first few days, and if you vibe, and then on the
Sure.
last night, maybe just throw it out there, not in a physical way, but hey,
Yeah.
maybe this could happen.
Well, go up to like that episode of Louis where he goes up to Maria Bamford. It's like, hey, do you want? She's like, just want to come over? And be like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
It's not a bad proposition. Sometimes that type of upfrontness works.
Yeah. I'm not that bold all the time.
No,
Despite being like man whore podcast, whatever nonsense.
you should just hand girls your card. That would be
Have you seen what
hilarious.
my card? Have you seen what my card
Hey,
is?
I'm the man whore. What are you doing later?
I mean, have you seen like this is my card for the show? Yeah.
It's a condom. You may mount me, the Man Whore Podcast, a sex positive quest for love. Wow, this is something. Condoms. That's
Yeah.
terrible. Can I keep it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I doubt you're never going to use it, but
Potentially. Sometimes I get really worried, but I realize I'm almost certain I'm pumping blanks.
oh, you think it's you?
I mean, probably.
I don't
Yeah.
know, so I'm assuming she's like on birth control or some sort.
Yeah.
You don't trust her like
No.
scheduling?
Sometimes she is. I mean, it depends. Or she used to be, and now it's more of a we'll pray.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how it works.
Well, one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you is because you have been in this absurdly long relationship.
Yeah.
Although you don't look like and act like the guy who has been in love since you were like what, an embryo? What?
Since I've been a little bitty embryo with the needle just missing. Yeah. We've been together. I mean, we were neighbors and shit like that when we were kids. And we started quote unquote dating, aka hugging and playing basketball together when we were like 10 years old. And it went, on and off as kids bullshit does. And, we both probably dated everybody in the entire school, but we dated the most out of all of our, whatever, other boyfriends and girlfriends.
Okay.
And now we've been together for like 7.5 years. And,
As like adult people.
As adult people, yeah. And it's we've lived together for 5.
It's just insane.
How's that? What? Just being with one person like that?
Since you were like a kid, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, there is something about her that clearly I relate to on a pretty damn deep level. So I don't know. She's awesome. I wouldn't be with her. I'm not the type of guy.
Yeah.
I'm not the type of guy. But there are people that have been with somebody since childhood that would be with them regardless of how it was going. Do you know what I mean? That they're so needing of that company and that comfort of being with the same person and not wanting anything to change, not wanting their life to, whatever. That's not what it's like for us, which is pretty dope.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that shit. I wouldn't fucking put up with it.
Well, what is it? What is it that does it for you with this one?
Her butt.
Her butt.
Yeah, her butt's
that's
probably the main thing.
Okay,
I don't know.
that's a fair reason.
Yeah. I mean, that's certainly part
It
of
should
it.
not be the only reason, but it's a fair thing to put into the collective.
Yeah. Also, obviously, if I wasn't with the person that was the best sex I've ever had, I wouldn't be with them. Like, that's a huge element for me. And so, that's obviously part of it. And then she's pretty damn funny. So, I wouldn't, I don't know. I haven't dated many funny girls in my life, but she'll make me laugh. And, yeah, I don't know. She's a hard ass too. She challenges me. She's like my mother. That's kind of true. You ever in the middle of a relationship realize that shit?
I've had one relationship.
You've had one for how long?
I mean, I had one freshman year of college, and that's it. That's why I have this show.
Interesting. She hurt you that bad?
No, she went to Tufts. I went to NYU, and she
was just getting banged by fucking top elite men.
Nah, to the best of my knowledge, there was no cheating involved. We decided at the end of that year, it's like, let's ride out we lived in the same town or next to each other, so it was like, let's ride out the summer,
right?
And then we'll go back sophomore year single. Just because it was like it's long distance is nonsense in college. So,
yeah, that was the worst. I did that because I dated another girl too for a while. And we were both on and off and in between our periods. Nicole, my girlfriend and I would start, whatever. And
playing basketball.
Playing basketball.
Yes.
That's a good code for it. I
It's
like
great
that.
code. Were you sleeping with that slut? Can I say your girlfriend's name?
Yeah, Nicole.
Nicole. I don't know why I thought it was Jessica.
That's my sister's name. I also fuck her.
Did you fuck Nicole? No, we were just playing basketball.
Yeah, we were just playing basketball.
Yeah.
My sister's who receives the real punishment.
But yeah, no. So I only had that one, and then I want one, but no one will date me.
Well, I wonder why. You have literally catalogs of reasons, audio like available.
Well, I mean, pre-podcast, there were no recordings, so it's like I don't know. Women will sleep with me, but they'll fuck me. They won't date me. And
what is it about yourself
that makes them want to sleep with me? Zero idea.
You gotta know, please. If you routinely hook up with girls and you have something that you turn on.
I don't turn on. I'm just myself, and myself is not like your typical shitty. Like, it's really as simple as I just treat
typical shitty.
It's just I just treat them like a person, and shockingly that works. I don't know why. It's super weird. I know guys like, you got to neg them or you got to do this. I'm like,
insane.
No, just like,
guys really do that.
Oh yeah. There's a whole book on like pickup
artists.
But
I thought that was old hat.
There are guys who do it, and
they're peacocking still. Are they doing that? Wearing bright shirts?
Right, the bright shirts.
Dude, that if that never goes away, I'll be happy. That'd be really great to watch that forever.
Well, it would just suck to lose that material.
Yeah, I mean, do you talk about dating and shit like that on stage?
I try, but again, it's just my life is so weird with Craigslist and like sex parties and shit like that it's hard to relate.
Yeah, but Norton kind of found a way, right?
That's who I've been watching. I've been rewatching his specials recently because I'm
like, so good.
I have a few jokes that like translate. Like I have an orgy joke about themes that like it's a cute little joke.
Sure,
and trying to do that without being too raunchy.
Sure.
Because here's the thing, I think part of Norton getting away with how disgusting he can get on stage is because he looks the way he looks. And I feel like if I was uglier, not that I'm...
Oh, man, you are saying you're better looking than Jim Norton, huh?
I'm definitely better looking than Jim Norton. I am no...
you know what, Jim? I have your side. You're better looking, just for the record.
Infinitely funnier and more talented, but
I'm just hoping to open for him.
Right, that's fair. No, but I think that's part of it. That's got to be part of it. I mean, he did that thing on Happy Ending Massage Parlors.
Yeah.
In that last special, and I just started bowing. I'm just like, because I was like, I don't know if I'll ever talk about it, because he hit every point I ever thought about talking about Happy Ending Massages. He nailed every part of it.
But you can't be like, are you scared? Are you nervous to talk about it on stage? Because you are putting this out to people. Like, this certainly, I mean, although you can't see them, obviously you're getting emails.
Yeah.
So that is a similar.
Well, I'm not worried or ashamed of the things I've done and
right.
The stories I've
Don't
I've
slut
had.
shame yourself, Billy.
Never would think of it. No, it's just that it's hard to translate into like jokes for like a stand-up comedy crowd. I've been having trouble getting all the stories to get with
I feel like that's your truth, and that's
it is
what
my
you should
truth.
be talking
and I'm
about.
doing. I just talked about
you're a fucking dirty. You're a dirty baby boy.
I am. I just had an open mic talking about how I love my butthole being licked. I mean, I did like 3 minutes.
Are you a
that.
hairy butt guy though?
No.
You have nothing.
Oh yeah, I don't. Even if this is, I mean, I only had my asshole licked like recently in the last like year and change. It's kind of new for me.
Sure.
But even years before then, I don't want to feel hair back there. Like it's.
So are you
gross.
taking care of it?
Yeah, that's
you
there.
You
that's
go
always
and get
gone.
waxed?
Oh no! I just grab a razor.
Oh my God! You shave your asshole?
And then I do like surgery
Dude,
level.
its surface looks like a peach pit. How are you possibly not cutting yourself?
It's fucking surgery for me, man.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I was a surgeon in a past life. I am very careful.
An asshole surgeon.
Yeah, I've never cut that. I've nicked dick.
Oh yeah, I've
I
done
nicked
that
dick,
too.
but I've never nicked the asshole. Knock on wood.
Wow. So, but they're like not licking. Like, I feel like if you're shaving it, it's still gonna feel like a cat's tongue.
Nope.
Like it's gonna be rough with
nice,
stubble.
nice and smooth, man. It's nice and smooth. I am always prepared in case a girl wants to go there.
Sure,
because I would hate.
What are you wet wiping all day?
No. But I'm always like I'm very well wiped.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're just you're wet wiping too, right? If you're getting your
I don't always have
shit cutter eaten, you better wet wipe it.
Well, I'm not getting it eaten a lot.
Well, that's like the licks.
But I'm
right?
always prepared. Yeah. I'm just saying,
okay.
like if a girl came in right now,
sure,
I'd be almost ready to get rimmed.
Almost ready.
I'd never want to
be
pass.
a quick trip to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Right.
Because how often does that come around? You never want to like pass on the rare opportunity.
No, that's for sure.
So it's like,
yeah, if you're slacking and that's what makes you fuck up, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's so interesting to me because I do have a hairy ass, especially for an Irish guy. But it's like I wouldn't wish my asshole on my worst enemy. Like even if it was hairless, the things I've seen it do are just like it can't.
You've seen it do?
Yeah, I just like it's carnage, man. I can't. I've clogged so many toilets without toilet paper.
Oh.
It's just I wouldn't. No, I couldn't do it to somebody.
So you two have never done any of the butt things on your end? No,
not on my. I mean, I like a finger around the butt. I'm not an in guy.
You like a tease?
Yeah, I mean, because I'm a little nervous about breaching, but the around is nice. Yeah,
or a little pressure.
Yeah, right on the gooch.
Yeah,
right. Isn't that some sort of weird prostate thing? Pressure on the geesh.
That's a way to kind of get around having to go in. You can put some like pressure under there. But
yeah, that's not bad.
To someone's like comfort level. I mean, because you don't want to take a thumb, just like you don't want to be like pushing him up in the air.
Well, right. I mean, first of all, it's always to somebody's comfort level. What maniac is doing things past the threshold? All right, I know you're not really enjoying this, but I'm going to push it just a bit further.
Right. Well, sadly, we have a lot of frat guys in this country who do push it a little past the threshold, and then girls start dragging, mattresses around their campus. So
yeah. I heard that there was like a story that kind of told the other guy's side. Right?
That particular story has two sides to it. That it's not conclusive evidence. I was just using it for a better visual example, and because I saw her in the news today, because she went to her Columbia graduation and she brought the mattress.
Of course she did.
I was more offended that
she's going to interview for jobs with that mattress, because how else is anybody going to know who she is? Do you know what I mean? I don't know her name. I know she's Mattress Girl. So if like she wants to live off that fame, she's got to be Mattress Girl for the rest of her life.
I mean, she could probably just change her like resume name to Mattress Girl. I think
that's what I'm saying. Nobody's interested in her government name. Yeah. They're gonna.
Well, here's the sad thing about that story is that like my thing with campus assault is campus rape is that we even call it campus rape and not just
it's just rape.
Yeah, it's all the same.
It just so happens to be within the school's limits,
right? And Like I know, our criminal justice system is terrible when it comes to handling rape cases. But if we let schools are even worse at it. And
Right.
So my issue with it is that never got really taken up by authorities. That just got like decided by like a panel of teachers who are not
that is so nutty.
qualified for this.
That's insane. Yeah, how could they? How could that possibly be the case? That's nutty. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the sad thing is that this girl is, she feels like she was raped, and this German dude thinks he didn't rape her, and
right. We all know.
Well,
those
never
Germans,
really.
though.
Well, those Germans, they'll shit on you, but they're not like prone to rape you necessarily. And so the problem is that we're never really going to get an answer because
Right.
it never got dealt with properly, and that's for thousands and thousands of sexual assault cases on campuses around the country.
Yep. Nobody's disputing rape is bad.
Yeah. Godly. Yeah.
You really just fucking buried us in the ground, Billy. I'm feeling real uncomfortable. She's a good-looking girl, though. I guess that's weird to say.
No.
Is it? I don't think so.
She probably still has sex. I would hope.
You are just a charming guy.
I people sleep with this thing.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
so
Well,
strange.
that's so funny that we never really. I guess we've never been on a podcast together.
Sure,
but
that's the
this
only
was-
place you're allowed to be open and intimate with
Right.
another person.
But I think we we obviously spoke about that, but nobody knows this story. There's a funny story. Like 3 years ago, it was like 1 a.m. and I was going to
Yeah.
my apartment on the Upper East Side and stumbling out of my building with no shirt on,
Totally sober.
sweaty as fuck. And just being like, "Bleh," breathing heavily was fucking Billy. And I'm like, dude, did you just fuck my girlfriend? Like, what the hell are you doing sprinting out of my building that fast? What the fuck is going on? And you're like, oh, yeah, it's just a Craigslist thing, dude. I can't get into it. Like, you just shook my hand and like ran up the block.
I was very giddy. I was
That
in a
was-
good mood.
That was insane. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, I remained intensely giddy because I ran into Mike Cannon, and because I don't do well with dudes terribly often. We get along quite well.
Yeah.
Despite the number of times you've called me a faggot, we get along pretty well. I don't get.
But I said that with love.
Yes, and that's
'Cause I
why
love
I
gay people.
don't tend to mind from you because I'm like,
Yeah.
I know we're all good, but guys I don't get. So I was like, okay, no, this is a guy seeing I just came out from getting laid. This is like I could get a validation from like the manly men, and
And I instantly went to you banging my girlfriend. I was like, what the fuck is going on
I
here?
appreciate you think that I would have had a shot.
I didn't. I was just saying that to be nice.
Okay. No, that was
What was it? That was a Craigslist thing? Did
well-
she eat your butt?
No, in the butt. We met even years before that. We've been fucking on and off for a long time, and she's just. I did meet her on Craigslist, but that was like sophomore year of college.
She was an older lady, right?
She is older than me, so I don't know. She was 27 when I was 19, so yeah, she was like probably
Yeah, that's older.
yeah, but she was like probably like 29, 30 at the time. I just graduated college, and
Nice. Good
Yeah.
for her. She was just sipping from the fountain of youth.
no, she was fun. But yeah, I did meet her on Craigslist. It was like one of those very rare like W for M ads because normally those are all hookers.
Oh, yeah.
In New York City, W for M, all prostitutes or big fat black women. I don't know why.
Yeah. When I first moved to the city, or I didn't even live here yet. I was just working here during the day. I went on Craigslist to try to meet chicks because I was fucking lonely.
Sure.
And I got in touch with one girl who was very, her picture was attractive. And she even sent me another picture, but she was like, I don't know, I don't want to show you the side of my face. There's a scar. And I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, God.
And then we're gonna meet up somewhere in Manhattan near my job at the time. And instead, at the last minute, she's like, no, come to the movie theaters in Jamaica, Queens. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do any of that at all. I was like, yeah, I think see you later. And I never used Craigslist again. I was like, that sketched me the fuck out.
I don't know how other cities are, but I can say for New York City, your best chances of like as a guy who wants to do something with a woman. Because if you want to hook up with a dude, Craigslist is fine.
I mean, why would you even bother going on Craigslist? Just cruise the fucking West Village.
Sure. I mean, you can cruise and you can use the apps, but I'm saying for like the personals section of Craigslist,
Oh, that's the most,
which is a way lofty.
That's the
name.
highest percentage.
I would say like that's your best. Like if you want to go one for one, do that. But as a guy, if you want to do something with a chick, really, and I did this math as like as a 19-year-old college kid, I realized I have to, if I'm willing to be around other naked men while I'm hooking up with this chick, I am more likely to get the hookup in.
Wait, what was the first half of that?
If I am willing to be, it was like game theory and I never took a class. This was my education on game theory, is if I'm willing to be around other naked men while hooking up with this chick.
Gotcha.
So like I would answer,
like if they're watching you and they're fucking jerking off, is that part of it?
I haven't done that, but that would be a scenario.
Sure.
So I would answer MW for M, MW for MM, or W for MM.
Gotcha.
So
Are those higher percentage then?
Well, yeah, these are ones where one, it's not a bunch of hookers,
right?
Which, is not what I was looking for. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And I've used Craigslist to find various types of sex workers, but if I was okay with like either a threesome situation or a group encounter, then I was like way more likely to get an answer.
Okay.
And so
so what were you getting into then?
Usually I actually didn't even really fuck people like in these group things. I would go for the blowjob.
You would watch and tug it?
No. I'd be getting blowjobs.
Oh, okay. Did you have to wrap up during a blowjob?
Craigslist girls have not yet, but I have had like a covered blowjob, like a very, very few.
Yeah, I only had that once when I had sex with a mother when I was coaching gymnastics. And she was one of the coaches, and then I got asked never to come back when I almost banged her daughter. I was 20. She was like 45, I think. Or
wait, how old was the
40 and
daughter?
45. 18.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And she was on like the pro team so that's what ended my tenure there.
Oh, shit.
In the gymnastics arena. I'll never be back.
Yeah. Well, you can, if you want to bang a mom and a daughter, you could probably post on Craigslist. And
sure
you might find something.
I'm sure. The unfortunate thing was, I think she was into it. She was ready to go.
The daughter?
Yeah, and the mom found out, and she like lost it in the gym, and that's why they're like, you can't be doing this. And I had already hooked up with like a couple of other girls from the team too.
Like, so you can fuck one mom, but you can't be fucking moms and daughters and dads and all sorts of things.
I know. The next guy was the fucking head coach, Gustav or whatever his name was. Sasha, that's his name. I would have set it on his mustache.
Have you ever like hooked up with like a mom and daughter?
No, that was the closest I got.
That was the closest.
Sisters though.
At the same time or
no. That would be nice.
That would. Be.
I've only had one thing with two girls at once, and it was behind an ice cream place in Rockland County.
Behind the ice cream place.
Behind the ice cream place. It was so weird because I used to work with them at a camp, and we never like talked about that stuff. Like I had hooked up with one of them before, and then I just like casually brought it up in the moment, and they were like weirdly down. And I was like, "Fuck it, let's go in the back." And then we drove to a like school parking lot, and then I think somebody's mom called or something. So
I was gonna say, like, I thought you guys were gonna move the threesome to the parking lot because like that's just less discreet.
Yeah, well, that was going to be more discreet because it was more in the woods. But unfortunately, I didn't have a condom, and at that point, that was really important to me.
Sure, at that time.
So yeah, so yeah, we didn't do that, but I got blown by both of them, so that was pretty cool.
That's a win.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
Have y'all done the threesome thing?
No, I don't think I would want to do that. To be perfectly honest,
with her,
yeah.
It's funny. So my guest last week, which is actually tomorrow, but. That's what I like about the time-space continuum of podcasts. You never fucking know.
Right.
It was the episode from that releases before yours. She said the same thing. She had a couple threesomes at NYU, and then her boyfriend would like to. Sure. She's been with this guy like 5 years. He'd like to have a threesome, but she's just like, I don't know that I can.
There is nothing worse in the entire world, though, than a girl that used to be down with that shit, then falls in love with you, and she's like, no. Fuck you, lady. Share your gift.
She's like, I don't know if I could handle seeing him with another gal. And
she's gal. Is that what she said?
No, she's a girl. I said gal. I don't know. I say gal.
Yeah. I mean, that sucks though. Yeah. That sucks for him. He really fucking bought that stock on its way down. That really blows.
I don't know. I said some things at the end to hopefully plant a seed of like, oh, maybe it's not just that whole like, hey, listen, you can always just say stop in the middle. It doesn't have to be the end. She said because you have the threesome and then it's the end of the relationship. I was like, it doesn't have to be. And,
no, it doesn't at all. If anything, that has brought certain people together. I dated a girl in college who had been dating a girl for like 5 years, and she was like officially a lesbian, I guess. But then she's not, so I suppose she's not. But we dated for a little while, and since she had been a lesbian, we were like talking threesome. And there were a few times where it came up, but then we couldn't seal the deal. And I was furious because I didn't really care about her that much. So it would have been nice to... I mean, she didn't care about me either. Who gives a shit? It was college.
Yeah.
So that would have been nice, but the timing never worked out.
But seriously, where were all these college threesomes? I only had my first threesome in December.
Yeah.
And here and there, all these college threesomes. Like, where was this when I was around? Like, Crystal,
Yeah.
like, so she had both those threesomes. One was 2 girls, 1 guy, and one was 2 guys, 1 girl. And
I think it's mostly wherever the coke is. to be honest, I really do think that if people are partying hard, that's where like threesomes and crazy shit comes in. If you're just doing drinking and like, you'll probably get into something weird, but not that crazy. Like all the coke parties are where it's at. I would assume.
Okay.
That's where I've seen the craziest shit while doing coke at some fucking college party. I mean, not now, I'm saying, but
I think a lot of the crazy shit I've seen, there's probably there must have been coke. I'm really naive and adorable that I just assume there's
adorable.
Yeah, I assume there's no coke involved. I'm like, no, we're all here sober, right, guys? No.
Meanwhile, everybody has a bloody nose.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, that's weird.
I'll be at like a sex party and like a bunch of people are stoned or like wasted. I'm like, no, we're just like doing this. No. Now I'm pure joy. Okay.
Do you ever take Molly at those things?
I've never
like
done
ecstasy?
I've never done hard drugs.
Oh, you are a sissy. You gotta do some goddamn Molly at these sex parties, dude. That will. I mean, actually, you probably shouldn't because you'd like it so much that it would become a thing.
Well, that's why I don't try hard drugs.
All you would do is go to fucking sex parties and pop pills. Molly's pretty dope to fuck on, though.
I've heard a lot of positive things about that stuff, but like again, like I've got like an addictive personality. If I did cocaine or Molly or anything, if I did it, if I loved it, I mean that's all I would do. I just would. I mean,
it's kind of expensive for that to become the thing, and also your nose stops working, or at least that's how it was with me.
All right, is that how you like don't smell my feet right now?
Are your feet crazy? Well, my nose doesn't work right now because of the pollen.
Oh,
yeah.
You mean the pot in
the potten?
Yeah,
the front stoop potten.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't even smoke weed that much, man. I probably smoke like 20 times ish, maybe.
Ever?
In my life. Yeah, probably.
Oh wow, that's like
roughly.
how many times I've done mushrooms.
Yesterday, yeah, this year. Mushrooms, I could see myself getting talked into at some point.
I did them like 2 weeks ago. It was awesome, or less than 2 weeks ago, like a week and a half. Mm-hmm. It was great. It was so much fun. We camped out into Harriman Park.
You too?
No, me. I have done mushrooms with her before, but right. No, it was me, Mike Feeney. Tim Rothschild, who's the co-host of my podcast, Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, available on SoundCloud and iTunes, and Mike's friend from high school. And so we fucking hiked out like what I assume was 4 million miles. I don't know. It was 2 hours each way. So 2 hours out, we hiked, put up a tent, gathered wood, ate mushrooms on the lake, and just had a fucking grand old time. That was amazing. Cathartic as shit. Made me feel very good.
All right.
Yeah. Well, it was a very self-loving trip. Usually, sometimes I'll learn something spiritual or I'll see some wild shit. I had some pretty awesome visuals, but I also just had some interesting self-actualization and self-realization stuff,
What?
Stuff that you don't want to talk about when you're sober. Just stuff that you're like, stuff you don't want to talk about to yourself. It's something that, just, hey, you're doing okay. That kind of stuff.
You're doing okay?
Well, now I am. Yeah, okay. I wasn't initially.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, it okay is subjective.
Sure.
So who knows? But I feel okay right now.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's good, man.
You want to leave or?
No. So what's y'all's like, why aren't you guys married? So I can be her mother?
Yeah, so you can. Well, initially, I wasn't really about that. My parents got a divorce after like 25 years, so I'm like paranoid about that shit. Sure. And, so honestly, she's the only girl that I would even consider it for. If we broke up today and even I started dating somebody tomorrow, it wouldn't matter because I don't, like, as long as I don't have a history with them, I could establish that I'll never marry them.
Right.
This girl, I've had a fucking history since we were kids, so. Yeah. And she has a giant Italian family. So that comes into play as well.
Well, I'm sure that question comes up like all the time.
Yeah.
Because you guys are also like what are you, 29 now? 30?
30. Just turned 30.
30?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man.
Yeah, it's over.
You're getting old. Yeah. Well, I mean, I imagine you guys get that all the time. So it's like, what do you?
I mean, her family's pretty cool about it now because we've been together for so long that they know I'm not going anywhere. And I've had the speech with them all the time. Like, once money is right, I don't want to get married in a fucked up situation because that's how my parents got married and it didn't end up paying off, obviously. Like they got married when they were broke. They fucking did all this shit. So, and my dad didn't get a chance to solidify his career as an actor. So then he ended up being a stockbroker.
Well, your dad was trying to be an actor?
Yeah, he was an actor. He was in like commercials and like, soap operas. And I think he was a background on SNL a couple times or some shit. But yeah, he was an actor and he got married too early and he wasn't settled yet. So he had to make money once he started having kids. And I don't want that to happen.
So, but you would want like have a mini mic?
Yeah, or a daughter. I wouldn't mind either one. So, okay. I mean, having a son would obviously be cool just because of the sports aspect. So
you couldn't do like a sporty chick daughter. I don't know why I said chick daughter.
Well, because I think regardless of the gender, I think I would just be able to relate to the boy better, obviously, to the boy. Yeah, I think regardless of the gender, our kid is, bound to be athletic because we both were, athletes growing up.
Yeah, you guys played a lot of basketball.
We did play a lot of basketball. Honestly, I broke her nose probably like 4 times playing basketball because we used to fucking play hard with our neighbor who was also really
Give her an elbow.
Oh, dude, we would get fucking real
competitive. What you get for playing tight D.
We would get real competitive. That shit happened all the time. And she got really good. She made varsity as a freshman. She was sick. Huh? Yeah, so that's I think we're bound to have some sort of mutant.
So what? And she's down.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, she's from a big Italian family. She would definitely like to have kids. But again, she also just started a flower company called Buds of Brooklyn. They do like floral design and shit. So she wants to get that established before we, ruin it with cum.
Right. You guys just seem to want to like make all your big major life decisions with, some foresight and
yeah, we're trying
logic.
to at least, and who knows the quote, life never follows your plan. So who knows, if one comes along before that and we're forced to, hopefully grind even harder doing what we love. Uh-huh. She has a supportive family. We have I have a supportive sisters, a mother, and actually I talk to my dad now. So you
talk to your dad.
I just started talking to him.
I just started not talking to mine.
So. Nice, good for you. Hey, we're the yin to each other's yang. Yeah, we just started talking. So I think we're gonna do okay.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully. And I would like to marry her also under similar pretenses. Is like, I'm currently doing a lot of things to try to make money. Yeah. So if I can make a decent amount of money and feel comfortable with actually having a wedding and buying a ring without, panicking about where next month's fucking rent is going to come, that's when I want to propose. That's the word.
That is the word.
That is the word. I was like, presot.
Yeah, sound it out.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I was afraid you're going to accidentally just say my last name.
I'm going to proceed to her.
But okay,
yeah.
This is what I always liked about you. Because you are, one could call you a dude. You're like a guy's guy.
Yeah.
Right, but you're also not a d-bag, which is sadly hard to find. It's sadly hard to find.
Is that right?
I don't know what the guys I talk to. You hear a bunch of dudes get together, and this makes me sound like traitor to my gender, but like you hear a group of guys, it's just like disgusting. Sometimes how it can get.
Sure.
And I'm just like, you guys really think this, or like, are you guys saying this because you think you're supposed to say this?
Yeah.
And then like I'll say something like vaguely decent, and like I'm the faggot, and it's like. They're talking about raw dogging chicks, and then I got this. Okay, so there's one comic. I'm at a table with a bunch of comics, and like was one guy's he's like lecturing me how I am an idiot for using condoms, idiot, how I'm missing out, and blah blah blah.
You're missing out.
All this stuff, right? All these things. I'm just like a dummy, and what all this stuff. Meanwhile, it's like he's had chlamydia.
Yeah, and he's for sure gonna get herpes eventually. Right.
Well, we're all gonna get herpes eventually. The way those numbers.
Yeah, I'm hoping to keep it between us.
Well, yeah, that's usually the ideal. My herpes are your herpes.
Yeah.
No, but like he's had chlamydia twice. He's had an abortion. I'm going to a sex party next weekend with a woman. I have been blown on the sidewalk multiple times because I don't give a fuck. I've hooked up with definitely more women than he has, but like I'm always the faggot because I use condoms.
Yeah.
And so I feel like with guys you can't win, but I don't know. You
But also that's interesting that he uses that word for using condoms.
Which one?
Those typically don't go hand in hand. I'm making a funny stereotype joke, but I think that might have been too offensive. It's so funny, right? When I'm like a third of the way through the joke, I'm like, well, this isn't going to go over.
Yeah, you're working it out right now.
But it's like, fuck it. Keep going.
You're like, I should work that one out in the book first.
Yeah, nah.
Just give it like a test run in the shower. Just talk it out.
Yeah. Well, next time we'll do the podcast in the shower.
It's a whole different podcast, man.
Right?
Yes.
If you, that's the next one. You doing a naked podcast with a girl.
Well, I just did do 3 naked podcasts.
Really?
I did.
Wow, I was joking.
Yeah. I did 3 naked episodes with total strangers.
Mm-hmm.
My theory, or at least what I'm telling people, is no, it's that I think you're at your most vulnerable state when you're nude with another, like someone you don't know, right? Like for the first time, like you hook up with a girl, you're about to get naked, you're about to become at your most vulnerable, right?
Right.
I think combining that with opening up about sex and dating with a total stranger, I thought would make an interesting dynamic. So.
Wait, were you hooking up on the podcast, or you were just?
No, these were. So I did one with a girl from Tinder, one with a girl from Reddit, and one with a gay guy from Craigslist.
All right.
It's not the first time I've been naked in front of strangers before.
Sure.
I've done the naked comedy show like 10 times now, probably.
At
this point,
interesting.
Well, I mean, a lot of them came in college. You know, when Andy
did you do it because has it gotten you laid?
No. I don't think it's ever gotten me laid.
Why do you keep doing it? Doesn't sound like you need to conquer it anymore.
Well, the naked comedy show I did probably a half dozen times in college and right out of college, just because it was stage time.
Right.
And I'm still in the position. I'm not in like a position to turn down stage time.
Sure.
And then afterwards, I was like, well, you know, it's fun and it's whatever. And then I've been to parties, but I've never been like in a non-sexual, one-on-one, let's get naked environment. So I just thought it would be an interesting dynamic for a conversation.
So what happened? Did any sparks fly with all 3 of them?
The sparks flew with the first 2, with the ladies. And so I guess now that's out there. No, I told before the 3rd one with this chick with chick Mary. I told them before I played the episode, I said, and just if you're wondering, yes, we hooked up afterwards. I didn't tell them that I hooked up with the first one, Daniela. So I guess that.
So you've heard it here first, folks. That's exciting.
Breaking news on my own thing. That's
very nice.
How masturbatory is that?
So you, so wait, Reddit and Tinder?
So I put out.
How do you hook up with somebody on Reddit?
Oh, I've hooked up with a lot of people on Reddit.
Really?
Well, I didn't put up on like a hookup. You know, are you on Reddit at all? So you know how, how it's organized. Like there's subreddits.
My weed show got kicked off of our trees.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Because they said I was just spamming. I was like, dude, I post it once a week. You fuck.
Well, there's
you nerds.
I posted on like the NY R for R Redditor for Redditor. Just like, and it wasn't sexual. I say need a non-sexual naked guest or something like that. And then like I had women contacted me, some guys contacted me.
Did you or did you not pick the best looking girls?
I did not necessarily go for best looking.
Really?
I looked for who was in a situation. So I was looking kind of for age was one thing. Because I didn't want like a
dude. I thought you said AIDS first. I genuinely thought.
I'm looking for the AIDS. I can't.
Yeah, yo. If you just identified yourself as a bug chaser, that would be a very interesting podcast.
That'd be an interesting person.
Yeah. Oh, I know somebody.
He wants to be a walking petri dish.
No, he's not going for it. But the thrill of
that's why
potentially happening, I guess, is
that like he raw dogs because like that's why.
Yeah, I guess. I know it makes me really uncomfortable. No,
this is some days I wake up after a night before having a really bad set. I'm thinking like maybe this is all I have going for me.
Your dick? Do you got a good cut of beef?
It's not like it's like just above, just like everything I do. Comedy, my dick.
Oh, that's funny.
Sports. I'm just above the average.
I gotcha
in all of it. No, but apparently I do okay with I do okay things with it. So
you do okay thing. Well, that's good.
Yeah, well, you never want to be full of yourself. You know, it'd be like I got the best cock in town, and then some girl's like, actually.
Well, there, there's always going to be somebody who doesn't like your flavor.
Sure. But so no, yeah, I put out an ad just saying like, hey, I'm looking for a guest, non-sexual. We're not trying to. not luring you to my apartment to get naked with me so I can try to fuck you. I'm just luring you to my apartment to get naked. Okay, I see why this sounds bad.
Yeah. Did you say that on it?
Yeah.
That's all right. At least you showed some humor. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got to diffuse the tension.
Sure.
Because every chick's probably thinking he's just trying to like fuck me, and I was like,
yeah.
Swear I'm not trying to.
I mean, if they're also looking at that kind of ad, I feel like they might be down for that.
The subreddit's not necessarily just for like hookups. Some people like look for friends or someone to hang out with or see a movie with in New York, whatever. So I had one girl from there. One was a Tinder. So for a little while, all my Tinder swipes, I just opened up with the same copy and paste pitch. Like, hey, I know you thought it was cute, and this is what we were trying to go for, but actually, here's an idea.
Wow. Let me ask you this: which site garnered the most responses?
I had the most responses from Reddit.
How many did you get?
I want to say women, maybe 5 or 6.
So you said male or female?
Well, I put out specifically female, and then after I got a response, I was like, well, I need to get a guy one. I knew I was going to have a girl and a guy. And I put out for a guy, and then there was a lot of straight guys. And then I was like, you know what? I think I don't even want to say fair, but I think it's more interesting to put myself in the same position I'm putting those girls in. Not like someone's going to show up and want to fuck me. It's just more like just the idea of like, I'm going to put myself naked 3 feet from a person who
could potentially want to fuck you.
Could potentially want to fuck me. So I was like, well, let me go for a gay guy, in which case I just went straight to Craigslist.
Was he a handsome man?
He was a good looking dude.
Yeah. Did you have a thick cut of boof?
Yeah, he actually looked like we had comparable dicks.
Comparable dicks. So it would have been a comfortable fit.
It made me. I felt safer. I felt not distracted, but not uncomfortable.
If you were in a gay, would you ever bang a gay guy or a guy?
I have just no interest. Redundant? I put myself. No, you could be two confused straight guys really drunk one night.
That's true. Yeah.
How many college romances have started like that?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. That's Michael Sam's story.
Oh, right. Oh, is that?
No, I don't know. I was just kidding.
That'd be a great story. Just, they practiced really hard one night.
Yeah, right. They just slid right into each other.
Yeah. I put myself there many times. I do a check-in, like I want to say every 8 months or so. Like, do I want cock? No, it's just every time.
You scan your body for potential feelings.
Yeah.
Hey, is there cock in here? Let me check. Nope. One more 8-year term.
Just put a renewal.
Yeah.
It's like stamp it straight for another year, like the DMV. No, just every time I go there in my head, there's something where I think I do have a thing with male intimacy that lacks, that I think I need, but it's not sexual. Like I need platonic, because all my friends are usually chicks and gay guys outside of comedy, and even within comedy, like I have a hard time. I don't get along with the dudes as often, but
that's so weird. Why is that?
I don't know. It's possibly because I talk about like, oh, what'd you do last weekend? Oh, like when I saw Mad Max. What'd you do? Oh, I went to some orgy. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe lube them up, so to speak.
Yeah.
Oh, Mad Max. How was that? Was that good? Oh, cool. I did a good thing.
No, but never. And I've been around naked men now plenty. It's like it's never appealing to me.
Did he ever? Was there any ever signs of arousal?
No, neither of us got hard. Thank God.
Did you get hard with the girls?
I did with Mary. I got hard during at one point.
Was it acknowledged?
Yeah. I think we were just talking about like. I think we were talking about our excitement of doing the show.
Sure.
Like we're later in the episode. I was like, oh well, you can see my excitement. And then the other one, it didn't come till afterwards. I mean, the way we hooked up was simply because I hooked up both of them afterwards, but I made I never made moves.
Sure.
I hit stop. And then as we kept talking, like we put the mics up, but we kept talking. I was like, oh, they never got up to put clothes on or leave. Mm-hmm. And then eventually, like,
well, you would have seen the puddle on the chair.
The one there, yeah, there one did get up, and there actually was a monster sweat spot.
There you go. Oh my God, what did you use to clean off those chairs?
Were
they wood chairs?
No, we put towels down. I'm not a monster. Come on, man. No, but we just kept talking, and so like
I hope you lit those towels on fire.
Mary, at one point, we talked for a few hours, and then like she's like, I just really want to. I really want to make out with you right now. I was like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
And because I would keep referring, I was like, you're welcome to go whenever you want. Like, I'm never gonna.
I'm not Ariel Castroing you.
Right. I'm never gonna tell a naked chick 3 feet from me who I'm never gonna say, put your clothes on. I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep looking at your tits. Because Daniela had great tits. She had these great big old boobies, and then Mary just like had a nice body, and I was like, I'm not gonna tell you to go. You just welcome to whenever. And then eventually we just hook up.
How long did the dude stay there for after?
The dude didn't say, well, here's the thing. So dude, I recorded
You just instantly pull up your basketball shorts. You're like, all right, see ya.
Well, that's the thing. The third.
You see a giant brown spot on the towel after he leaves.
James was the third one. So like I hit stop. I was like, okay, that's great. Cool. And then you can like, I put my clothes right back on. I was like, I know what happens if I stay too long. I'm not.
Oh, you went to his place.
No. He came over.
Gotcha.
But at that point, I'd hooked up with these two girls simply because we sat there long enough that like I got hard and they started looking and we weren't. There was silence and then eventually they would touch it. Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not falling for this trick. I know what happened, so I just got dressed. And
you should have tested it, bro.
No, there's
should have done your 8-month checkup.
So yeah, no interesting guys. What about you? Could you ever do things with a dude?
No, I it's just not. I think guys are too hairy and
it's just
not
gross
for me.
It just doesn't do it. Sometimes I'll be like, God, that's an attractive looking dude, and then as soon as the thought of the cock comes in, I'm just
no. There's got my gay feelings. Only go to I want to be that person. Not inside of them. Right. Like Brad Pitt, I would love to be. Leonardo DiCaprio, I would love to be. I wouldn't want to really fuck them because I still think that would gross me out.
Well, I want to be inside them, but like this,
I want to be wearing their body.
There you go. See,
yeah.
I think the closest
it would be cool to take their dick for a spin. Let's just say that.
Okay, or I mean, at that point, if you're choosing celebrity cock to like wear for a day,
Will Smith.
I was gonna say John Hamm. I mean,
oh yeah, he's got a fucking mule on him.
From what I've heard.
Yeah,
from what I've heard.
Well, I saw the pants picture.
I did not.
It looked like one of those weird squeeze alien things. You know those things that you see in like Discovery Channel store, where it's a long cylinder of liquid.
Oh, it's got
and
like
and the
gooey.
Eyes, the eyes bulge out. That's what his dick kind of looked like a snail.
I don't know, man.
Good dick though.
Yeah, I think the closest I could get is maybe one, just simply because of the circles I run in. I don't have desire for it, but I could see being in a situation where something happens with a trans chick.
Sure.
Like Bailey J.
She's she's.
I'm
pretty.
like, holy fuck! That's. So
I don't even know if I could do that honestly, but it doesn't really do it for me at all. But yeah, I could see where people would.
Well, sometimes I look and it's before without even I don't see her cock, and then I'm just like, oh wow, like she's okay. Because sometimes I forget that there are really, really attractive transsexual women out there, and then I'm like,
see, the cock is the only part that does it for me.
Yeah, then you get down there, I'm like, oh, now I have to have a conversation with myself.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't see myself in any position to do that, but unless I run for office.
Studies show you are way more likely to touch a dick if you run for office. If you're running Republican, only as then.
Yeah. If I had nothing for liberal, I really tried to access something
because we don't really shit on them because they don't. The only reason we shit
liberals fucking suck right now with their language policing and all this horse shit. I can't stand it.
I mean, there is that.
I mean, any political party is a goddamn joke.
How's the girlfriend do with the comedy schedule in life?
She's good, man. I mean, we've had our.
I mean, because you guys have been together long enough that we've
been together long enough. Yeah, of course, she's gotten used to it. But there are, there's ups and downs like anything else. You got to make time for each other. Because, when you don't, that's when frustration mounts and you just start fucking bitching at each other. And then all of that ends up exploding and you start fighting about something that you're not even upset about. The real upset is that you miss each other. So we've done a lot of work to make sure that no longer happens because we would, sometimes let things build up and let frustrations, all that stuff. And it's just clear that it's more about how we miss each other and not about you didn't do the dishes. And that's a huge fucking fight. That's that's just old shit though.
Well, how do you make time? What's your barometer?
I mean, mostly if during the day, obviously we don't see each other because I work from home. She works from an office. But, on the weekends we do a lot together during the day, especially. And then once a week, I'll for sure take a night off on a slow night or something and, hang out with her, go to dinner or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounded like I was choking up, but I really just had a frog in my throat. Matt, I just start crying about.
Don't
my
worry,
girlfriend.
Mike Cannon doesn't cry.
I cry all the time. Actually, it's pretty interesting.
You do?
Yeah, ever since doing mushrooms, it really opens me up. Plus, I watch a lot of those soldier come home videos. Like
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Sometimes when I feel like crying, I'll watch that and really and X Factor auditions of like
auditions?
people that like look homeless and then they come on and they have the voice of an angel and everybody's like, oh my god, and I'll just sit at home in the dark with my cat next to me crying.
America's Got Talent does that for me.
Yes, well that too. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, all of them.
I just don't like all this
manipulative
singing.
shit.
I don't like that much singing.
Oh, I love singing.
I want the like burlesque act who just is trying to make it, and like her dad died yesterday.
What is making it for burlesque? Where?
I mean,
what's the top of that pyramid?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna ask. I'm actually gonna have a burlesque. Hopefully, the episode after yours. Hopefully, this chick Peekaboo Point. But there's a lot of like big.
That's a great name.
It's a great name.
Gotta give it up,
dude. When I was like researching, you know Scout Durwood.
Yes.
Okay, so I know Scout from the Naked Show.
Mm-hmm.
And
she did it?
She used to do it all the time.
She's very attractive.
She is.
Yeah. And also not into us.
Very much not into us, and a very well kept bush. She used to then co-produce it with Andy when Chesley Calloway moved or stopped. Like,
oh yeah, I forgot Chesley did it.
Chesley
He
used
is
to-
shredded too. I would be naked all the time.
Backstage, right before you go on, he would bang out 25 push-ups.
Well,
Not
of
kidding.
course. Why wouldn't
Yeah.
you? Yeah,
So-
that's the first thing.
Every time.
I would be a little concerned about my dick hitting the floor while doing push-ups. Though.
Yeah, I don't care at that point.
Yeah, but it's a fucking dirty wood floor. Your
The
fucking
old
helmet.
pit. The old pit.
Oh, gross. That actually just
Right.
made me freak out.
Well, Scout has done burlesque, and so like I asked her, and we'll wrap up soon. I asked her, hey, like, can you give me some like burlesque girls? I want to have one on the show. Who should I ask? They also have a little following, is always good. And she gave me some names, and then the list of names were just like Honey Badger and fucking Chocolate Thunderstorm,
Ginger
Kitty
Snap.
Cup. Ginger, I'm sure there's one named Ginger
There's
Snap.
gotta be. So that would be my name.
Burlesque dancers just have the best names. But
I'm
don't
just
know
curious.
What,
I guess they could get a TV show.
or they tour. I mean, like they just do. If you do a lot of live shows, like Peekaboo.
Peekaboo.
I'm trying to say her name seriously. Peekaboo she got back yesterday from Europe, and she like did 4 weeks of shows in Europe.
Yeah.
And she does burlesque full time.
Well, I know. That's our goal too. Is we want to tour.
Yeah, the idea is so
Yeah.
that you're making your money doing the live shows. I guess if you have like a really solid act and it's a full act.
I guess Dita Von Teese might be the top of the game.
Dita Von Teese, I think, from my research, was like the top of the game.
Yeah.
Right? She then diversified and shit, but.
Right. I get. Well, that's probably what you have to do to make real money.
Sure. But
Yeah,
I
if
mean,
you
like,
wanna-
there's plenty who make their living just doing burlesque, just dancing. If you get the right gigs and you have the solid act and the following.
That's so interesting. What do you do when your body falls apart though? Do you just like you manage burlesque?
Like, I know the business, kid. I'll help
teach.
you out, rise to the top.
Yeah, maybe you do teach actually.
I don't know, man. Yeah, maybe like a ballerina. Like when you turn 27, you can't do the things anymore and your feet are all curled into themselves. You teach.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah.
I wonder how
I'll have to ask
angry. Do you have burlesque listeners?
That's a good question. Hey, do I have burlesque listeners?
I mean,
Y'all
you'll
should tell
probably
me.
know by the amount of people that say I'm an asshole after this show.
No, with that opening, I'm sure they will be more than just burlesque dancer. Don't worry, I think I'm going to catch some flack too for it, but it's cool.
I feel like this one's gonna go viral.
I hope so too, but for the wrong reasons. Like it's going to be a write up, be like 2 comedians
That
set
would
on
be
a
good.
podcast and said tranny 3 dozen times.
I thought I was very sensitive about that. Burlesque dancers, I feel like I came off a little harsh.
Oh, you're worried about pissing off the 300 burlesque dancer. Do you have any derogatory terms towards guys, just so we can end on evening it out?
Guys,
Can we pretend that there's something to hurt our feelings?
I mean, I guess like any kind of making a straight guy feel vulnerable is a pussy or faggot. That kind of stuff that makes them feel vulnerable about themselves is always like the bad word against guys, isn't it? Is that what you meant? Or did I just go down a weird rabbit hole? Listen to Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole on iTunes, SoundCloud. We talk conspiracy, corruption, consciousness expansion.
I don't know. Who knows, man?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
I mean, I don't know. I was called faggot like as a kid, and
I got called faggot yesterday at an open mic. Like,
really?
I get called faggot all the time.
It's so interesting.
For the guy who has sex with, it's just so odd. Like, I don't get it. I don't care anymore because I just think like that's silly. I just never understand when like the He-Man dudes who like want to be jerks, they'll call me like gay.
Right.
One, thinking that's an insult, but let's get past that one because if you're listening to this, you probably agree that's a silly thing to use as an insult. Yeah. But then also that like you're calling me gay, and there's a good chance I have way more sex than they do, but I'm the faggot. Like again, it's.
I bet you're a virgin.
Wouldn't that be the best?
Yeah, that would be
hoax?
The best.
I've been paying women this whole time
that
every
would be
week
hilarious.
that would be great.
I actually think that's it. Start a conspiracy. And then listen to Deep Inside the Rabbit.
Well, let's end with just you. So obviously you're a hilarious stand-up comedian.
Thanks. I feel like I tapered off towards the end, so I apologize. But hopefully we were interesting.
Also potentially offensive one.
Yeah,
has a great Letterman set on the Fleshlight that I love.
That's not Letterman.
I know, but you have like 5 minutes worth. You could have filled.
Oh yeah. I used to.
It.
I haven't done that version of it in a long time.
Yeah, you told me you shorten it now, but I always like to refer to it as like you could in theory have done a Letterman set if like you could.
If that was something they were interested in
on the last episode, because who cares? We're leaving.
That would be hilarious, but then I would be blacklisted, I'm sure.
Sure. But where can people find you? Where are the things that obviously we've plugged your podcast. You have your own awesome podcast.
Yeah.
I don't listen to a lot. I don't try out new shows. I don't like trying new things. I have my 4 podcasts, and then like when I don't have the current one, I'm just sitting around home. I actually do throw on Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole.
Interesting.
Where you guys talk
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we tell you it's weird. I mean, we have a 53-year-old truther who is very convinced that nothing has ever happened in the entire world and everything is a false flag. And then we have my buddy Tim, who is a spiritual healer, Reiki guy, fucking dualistic Kabbalah, whatever the fuck. And so we get into some interesting shit. But also watch the Weed News. That's my web series every single Thursday. Talk about the legalization of pot and just do different stories and reviews, products, blah, blah, blah.
And that's on YouTube?
That's on YouTube, yeah.
The Weed News.
Soon to be on YouPorn because I'm starting to think I need to blow a guy on it just to get it off the ground.
I mean, you can post it there.
Yeah.
You don't have to be naked to post something on.
That's true. Maybe I should do an episode naked, though. A naked Weed News on YouPorn. That's something. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think I have enough confidence in my dick, though. I have a good dick, but, I think my girlfriend's coming in.
Yeah, this is great. And so before your girlfriend comes in, and they can find you on Twitter.
Hey, honey.
Hey, honey. Just talking about you.
Yeah, this whole episode. Yeah.
On Twitter, you're on at I am Mike Cannon.
At I am Mike Cannon. Yeah, and also follow Buds of Brooklyn.
Buds of Brooklyn. What's that?
It's my girl's floral design company. Yes. So if you need flowers for a wedding or any special occasion, I'll even fucking deliver it because that's my role.
Unofficial sponsor of the Man Whore Podcast.
Damn right.
Buds of Brooklyn. Mike, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me on the Man Whore Podcast, Billy. This has been a delightful time. I appreciate you coming out to Brooklyn.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. All right, say goodbye to folks.
Hey, goodbye, folks.
Wow, what an episode. Whew. Great talk. Seriously, how fucking funny is he? Right, guys and girls and people in between? How awesome was he? Or how much did you hate him? For the 3 of you who did not like him. Please show him your love on the internet. He deserves it so much. You can follow him on Twitter at I am Mike Cannon. And again, he's got the Weed News and Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. And you can find links to those in the show notes. Again, you can always follow me on Twitter at @TheBillyPresita. And, say hello. Use the hashtag ManWhorePodcast. Let me know what you think about the show. Or let me know how much you disagreed with either of us. And if you want to say something a little bit more privately to me, you can email me at manwhorepod@gmail.com. You can email me your comments, your questions, your booby pictures, all of it. Please, if you can, support the Man Whore Podcast. Help me improve this show by supporting me on Patreon over at patreon.com/manwhorepodcast, or you can go to manwhorepod.com and click the Patreon banner. And also on manwhorepod.com, I'm starting to post things pretty regularly. I'm posting advice questions. I'm posting fun things there. Go check that out. Sign up for the mailing list. I think I got all the plugs in. And if you're listening to me on SoundCloud right now, I hope I will see you next week on some different podcast app. And sorry again for all the fucking crying up front, but it had to happen. It was a rough weekend for me, but I appreciate all of you who listen. So until next week, go and enjoy yourselves. Stay slutty. Do it for me.